Ladies, gentlemen, and others in chat, welcome to another drawing stream. We are continuing on our epic adventure to try to make a manga. So, where we left off last time, people attempted making a character sheet for our protagonist, Alicia Klaus. And yeah, meager results. I did some experiments earlier today and also looked at some manga for references, and I think that restricting myself to just 3 halftones like this, it's not necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily the number of halftones that is bad. It's just that they are fixed. Looking at mangas that go like, they usually have 3-4 values. You have the black ink, the white page, and then 3-4 other halftones. So I'm on target, but they aren't necessarily fixed. They depend greatly on the light conditions of the scene. And they're also not afraid to sort of merge values. Like if somebody has like if they're blonde, their hair is white in the manga, but if they might be in shadow, then they're using the same halftone for hair as you do on the skin. Even though that would sort of just turn that into one blob shape thing, it still works. It still reads well, and sometimes it's very, very subtle differences in grading. So I think we're just gonna have to step away from the fixed halftones and just experiment really to find something that matches. And also I think that it's better if I, instead of having, as much as I like to be non-destructive and doing the whole keeping each value on a separate layer, I think it's just gonna be easier for me to just have one halftone layer. And just put everything on that. I could still do the temp layer thing and just apply the halftone. What is it called? Filter mask. After the fact, you're essentially just painting in grayscale and then filter too. Right. That's some learning and experimenting as we go along. So, as I said last time, we need to do a little bit more detailing. We kind of done like a general overview of it. Like, it needs work. It works on a broad, crude sketch kind of way, but it doesn't work when it comes to, like, it needs more detail, more refinement, more polish. Yeah. But since I am not particularly good at this, we are just going to have to take it in baby steps, basically. And speaking of baby steps, we're just gonna have to, let's see, can we get you to scale, roughly speaking, like such? Yeah, there we go. Cool. I suppose we can just slide you over here. And then try to look at this reference. And as much as I'd like to just like I have this whole 3 brushes in a dream and just do it with see how far I can go with just these 3 basic brushes. Because there are, I know that there like there's one art YouTuber, Line Sensei, who's very good and sort of like, as the name sort of implies, he's anime style, but he doesn't use like a G pen. Like he uses Clip Studio Paint, but he doesn't use the G pen basically. Just doesn't bother with it, which is interesting. He just uses a basic flat pen, kind of like basic round brush, with some sort of opacity to get some line variety. So basically, the opacity brush that I'm using here with some the stabilization apparently cranked up to a very high level. But I don't have any smoothing on mine. So we have one confirmed lurker in chat, and also swing and a miss from the bot salesman over at Kick. Well, they're hustling. All right. Yeah. Okay. That is. Oh. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. Let's try to keep this thing to scale. It's a bit of that observation thing, and maybe I should do warm-ups too, but well, that's probably not perfectly symmetrical either, but you know, what have you. Roughly speaking. Of course, it's an arm as well, so what are you gonna do about it? Something like that. Gotta remember to start incorporating my... Is that the... Kinda... that angle works. It just needs to be a bit longer. And... Okay, we should do the inside part as well. Yeah. We can just keep it very simple and just go like... Yeah. Oh, kind of neat and stops here. Basically, you know what that means? Temp layers. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to erase. There we go. Look at that. Collapse that down. Do you get this? Yeah, that you do see the pop-up thing. But you don't. But it's really weird that you don't get to see others. But yeah, I'm shaking in my boots today, chat, because I'm not very confident. Like the sleeves and the boots should be manageable, but the the gun got a little appetizer. Look at that crazy stuff. Yeah. That's why I'm shaking in my boots, chat. Strap in, chat. We're in here for the long haul. No, my bit rate. It does. Oh, I don't know. It's a bit annoying when it happens, but I have no idea what tricks it, what triggers it. Because like I have nothing going on. Right, something like that. Right, and then of course it has. Now, of course, I'm starting to pay attention to the details. Okay. Save. And, right. A little line like that, right? Well, it looks terrible. It looks terrible up close, but it looks kind of decent from afar. But we might want to cut that out, just in the interest of being consistent with the others. Right, of course she has this like little. I know that in Clip Studio Paint you have like SVG as a vector patterns things that you can just put down, and they're repetitive, they're seamless and repetitive. Krita can do a vector, but it can't do that kind of a vector. And you can't do brushes, vector brushes in Krita, which is unfortunate, because then you can like create a vector chain or a vector zipper, and then you can turn that, and you're essentially just painting a zipper with, as if you're drawing a line. A very handy quality of life thing that allows it. I do know that vector brush thing is in the pipeline for Krita, but apparently you need to rework the whole gosh darn thing, the brush engine, or overhaul it. So I'm not holding my breath with that one. That's not gonna happen anytime soon. Okay, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14. A gentleman's 14. Well, I'm just gonna make a temp layer, and I'm just gonna do 1. I'm gonna collapse that. That's 4. Collapse those. Yes, no. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what that means? I should probably erase away the last one, because then we have 7, and we are just gonna copy that, paste it, and we're gonna slip it down, and now we have 14, chat. How about that? And we can copy that, and we can probably just flip it on its... No, we're not going to flip it on its head. We're going to... Can we just mirror that layer? So probably going to transform Mary vertically? Question mark? Aha! This is the fun thing about like doing projects like these, like this chat. You get to solve. You're solving problems, technical or otherwise, but you solve them because they're directly related to your to the thing that you want. The thing that you want to do. But oh, it probably needs to be like that. Yeah, there we go. Look at that, chat. That took no time at all, and I don't mind that it kind of sticks out like that because, like, it's what it's supposed to look like, chat. And of course, like, she has like I don't know, like a couple of something like that. Yeah. There we go. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful, and I refuse to listen to anything else. All right. But I guess I could try to indicate because again, it's one of those things, like, it looks good in detail, but from afar, it's just gonna be such a royal pain in the butt. But it's also cool, and also, you know, you want to push yourself. And like, of course, she has like more. I'm not sure what that's called. Transparent with ladies, why do you gotta be so elaborate in your design thing? I don't know. But I guess we could do the same thing that we did. We can do the whole copy-paste thing. Something like that. No, actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to move you up. To roughly that level. And then we're going to swap to this, and we're going to make... No, that's not what I wanted. Krita, stop being such a doofus. Yeah, okay. Something like that. Now we can copy and paste and move it over. And we collapse, and we copy paste, and we move over. We copy, we paste. Image, no, layer, transform. This one will be horizontally, I think. Yes. it will be. We're gonna have to make some sacrifices here, chat. There we go. And I suppose we could just... I mean, it's not pretty. But, you know. You know. What's a poor guy supposed to do when he's not? When he does, when he barely knows his left from his right when it comes to these sorts of things. So, what else have I been up to? Well, I hang out with the guys last night. No. Yeah, last night. Saturday. Yeah. We played some Zombicide. Which was a good deal of fun, not gonna lie. And we, in a surprising twist, chat, we won. I know, that was absolutely crazy. Normally when we play, we either go like, oh yeah, we got it in the bag, you know, we're pretty good about this, and then things just spiral out of control. Either that, or we just get, you know, the RNG of that game can really screw you over. But it's a fun game. Oh, light entertainment, which seems to be exactly what the doctor ordered. Right, and we agreed that it would be 25, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that looks about right. So we can just go about it like that. Actually, now that I think about it, you know, that inside should probably be black. Probably. The inside of her sleeve, because like to show that it's in shadow. And you know, you are excused, Mr. Lady Reference Image. Whoa. That is a flashbang. Yeah, and I'm thinking about like Tutorial Tuesday. I was thinking about that a bit. I have that Hololive fan art with the cloud. I'm probably gonna finish that next Tuesday, next time. Or this Tuesday, I suppose I should say, rather. And from there, I wonder if we should do some pixel art tutorial, chat. I don't know how you feel about that, but I would like to like graduate from this default avatar, because it doesn't, like, it's a cool design and I like it, but it's not solid. It's not a solid color. Oh no. I don't know what to do about that. I should probably Google that. What to do when the bitrate if there even is anything that I can do about it, or we're just gonna ride the storm when it is choppy or lags. All right, we're gonna drop the whole whooping 10% of our frames. Well, you're not voicing any complaints, chat, so fingers crossed that you're happy. Alright, so there's the sleeve, and yeah, this needs to be in all black. And I think also part of the reason why this might not necessarily look particularly good is because there's something about the opacity brush that does that. It might have been better had I might sketch with the opacity brush, but do the final line art with the because the jet black does that does look better against a halftone, not gonna lie. I don't know. We'll see. We're just gonna have to experiment and see as we go. So there's the sleeve. Like, it looks kind of funky and weird, but it's because, like, especially at the top, because, again, I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna have to do some research. I think that, like, there are some assets, like, similar to that kind of comes with Clip Studio Paint, and I do know that I can copy paste them into Inkscape and thereby transfer them over to Krita and do funky stuff with them. Because I'm just gonna experiment a little bit. I think you can. Can you? Oh, it's just a graphical hiccup. Yeah, Krita's been a bit wonky and weird today. But if I choose to transform and go to warp, cannot. I got a message that says I could not do the warp thing. Okay. Can we do the perspective then? No. Okay. It was worth it. It was a try. All right. Well, you know. Yeah. I think the reason why it's so big is because you have it's the mask for the filter. I think that is what makes everything look so. That is why you get this huge selection thing, because if you just select the ink or just want to move the ink, then you get a frame that's sort of just around it. But yeah, because it also takes which is everything in the entire canvas thing. Interesting. Anyway. Sleep, please. Clicks. Something like that. Right, so. Righto. Today is really not one of those days for the stream. And again, I have no idea why that is. I'm sorry, chat. Is it choppy on your end? Because I'm not doing anything on my end with perks of living on your own with nobody else interfering with your broadband. Yeah. Could work better if I have a LAN connection, maybe. Shouldn't impact the Wi-Fi, but like it is a bit discerning, but you know. It is what it is. Okay. Just gonna copy paste this, and we're gonna drag it down, and we're gonna delete everything that's inside of it. And this is machine gun, because that's the name of the gun. Chat. Oh, excuse me. Burping hydro homing. All right. Save. And yeah. Through my life, man. Oh my goodness. I wonder how. Maybe we can get away with just boxes, chat. What you thinking? I think we can. Let's try that, chat. Let's try that. Like, I know that these are technically speaking cylinders, but you know. Right, and then ooh. We're just gonna do I spy with my little eye, something like that. Right. See what I'm going gunning for here, chat. No, nothing. There we go. Okay, so if we just collapse that down and then we go back. And I mean, we're not necessarily like really learning how to draw the gun here, but I wanted to create a new layer on that. That would be nice. And is there, do I have a hotkey for that? Ellipse tool. Shift R. Okay. I do have a hotkey for it. Nice. And then we can go brush, and we can go down a layer. It's all about, you know, just getting it into your fingers. I think that's just, that isn't a change in shape, it's just a weird texture thing. I'm gonna treat it as a weird texture thing, and that's the official terminology. I'm sticking with it. Basic opacity brush. We have another. Yeah, we're just gonna treat that as one. And if I would remember to make temp layers, that would be great. Shift R. I know what I'm doing. And we can simplify that as just one. Box. Or no, hang on. We need, it's this one that we need to get rid of. Ring. There we go. And we will collapse that one down. Shift R, new layer. Make it a bit bigger than we need it to be. Okay. Well, we're just vibing, chat. Look at that. Okay. I mean, it's coming along rather nicely. Oh, interesting. You can't see it in the... You don't see the reference images in the overview image. I don't think that you can see much of that, chat, but... Okay, let's do this big body, the big body right here. Yeah. And then we have a much smaller body here. And now, and we also, now we need to do some erasing, chat. We don't need this. And we don't need this part right here. Alright, and I think we're gonna need another temp layer. Or is it Shift L for line? No. No, I don't have a line. Okay. Well, we can just... I suppose you could also just do that. Just do straight lines like this, but... You know. Right, there we go. And I think we can collapse down. I suppose we should just lock the paper layer so that we don't collapse down to that. That would be bad. Shift R again. Oh. This is fun. This is fine, chat. Yeah, it could work as a valid approach to how to make this behemoth of a construction thing. And if she's gonna, but then of course she's gonna be whipping that thing around, being a certified badass. Because that's cool, that's what they do when in manga. They want to be cool. Okay, so low-key, we need all of that, but we don't need... I mean... Actually, hang on. It's this one, right? This one needs to be compressed like that. Okay, hang on. Let me just... Alright, we don't need that. And we don't need that either. But we do need a line over there. And we don't need that. Right. There. Sometimes it could go like, hang on, wait a minute. I mean, we could just wheezy this over, mosey that over. And then just, you know. Oh. And we don't need any of that, right? Except, or rather, stretch it out a little bit. Okay, fine. We're gonna be here all evening if we keep on doing that. Alright. What do we got? Unfortunately, it's such... Yeah, because like I would like to get my... my goodness, the bitrate is not good. Not good, not good, not good, not good. Why is it so bad? Close to Firefox? Be stable. Be good. No, don't dump in the red, you... I honestly don't know what's making it. Can I go like system monitor, resources, network. Where am I gonna put you? I have so much stuff on my screen. Oh, I can put you there. I mean... Yeah, it just... swings and drops. But why, though? I have no idea why the broadcasting thing is... Yeah. And also broadcasting, you know, that shouldn't be an issue. Oh. I don't know. I do. From what I can remember from like other troubleshooting, go like, yeah, the Wi-Fi uses different channels, but if you have or the neighbors are using conflicting channels, then it can cause problems. And here I'm zooming in like I'm a freaking pixel art. Anyway, and then there's sort of like both are on channel 6 or whatever, and that can cause problems, but I'm not going to troubleshoot that now. I'm just going to look at graphs and be really upset that the stream quality isn't what it's supposed to be. Why on Sundays of all things? Like, go to. Oh, it's a bit late. Go to church. Okay. I think that's it. I suppose we could like mark. Mark that box. Oh. That's on the ink layer. Yeah. So this goes away as well because that is a panel or whatever bolted on top of it. Oh yeah, that's a recharge sliding thing. Oh yeah, that's right. Like I was trying to wrap as I tried to like dig up these reference images or importing them into Blender, trying to wrap my head around how does this like how does Alicia actually operate this gosh darn thing? Obviously you can see her in game, but I was just like, it's so huge and chunky, and obviously she can't like, because she has all this decor thing, which is honestly pretty sick, but you know. You can't like pulse this piece in here into her shoulder, because then she will like she's gonna stab the crap out of her armpit, so that's not an option. So I was like, how, like, lady, how does this even work? And also like reloading, because like she's still gotta hold it like a pistol, right? She's holding it with the handle here, and then she's gotta hoist it up. And she needs to hoist it up because like, she's right-handed, so she's going to use her left hand to pop in another mag. And then I'm like, how does she, like, I'm assuming that she there's a handle here, and I'm assuming that she sort of pulls this handle, because at least that's how it was rigged. Like, she would just take this and just lock it. But I'm kind of like, how is she going to do that? But then I figured, like, it looks kind of cool if she sort of holds it up vertically, like barrel, like she's holding it up. Like this. He's holding it up. Obviously, like the top would then be against her shoulder, right? Holding it like a gun. And then she would sort of reach over the top and grab the load handle and just like pull it down and let it go to sort of do the ka-chunk load thing. And I think that was kind of like that could be a cool shot, a front shot, because then you have her face then you would have like her face like she's all angry, right? Because that's what she is, right? But then you would have the gun, right? And then she would have you would have her glorious feminine fingers would just hold on to the gun down here, right? And her left arm would sort of, how would that be? Like reach. Her left arm would go down here and then reach behind to sort of like hold on to the recharge and then pull that down. I don't think that is like the correct proportions or whatever, but like I would like that idea of like her just holding it up almost like a sword and just going like, yeah, lock and load, rip and tear. Anyway. I think we're done with the boxes for now. Oh, here we have one more little box here. That kind of laps over. So yeah, you'd be surprised of how much of it is just like straight up find a workflow that, you know, hey, does this work? Yeah, okay, cool. And just, but considering how much time I'm spending on this one freaking gun, it's like, it's gonna be a royal pain in the butt to have, but it's also gonna be very satisfying when you do get it. But like the gun, the panels with the gun in it is just gonna be like, that's gonna be the death of me. Like all of this detailing and like all right. But as I said, it is growth is where, you know, it's on the fringes of your comfort zone. Well, and this is definitely outside of my comfort zone. So, yep, here we are. Okay. And we could also just copy paste the first one, but whatever. Always a temp layer. And maybe a little bit stretch out, a little bit like that. Yeah, there we go. I mean, that's looking pretty sharp, not gonna lie. Even if it is a trace. But I still think, like, as much as I one could shit on tracing, I still think that it is marginally better than just blindly importing a 3D model and just calling it quits. That is to me, too lazy. I would like to go like, no, I wouldn't like that at all. Like, yeah, this is a hassle, not gonna lie, but you know, I did it. And of course, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it and all that, yada yada yada. And also, hey, guess what? I am not on a time limit. Right? Ooh, look at that, chat. Look at that. That would have been a catastrophic failure had it been Drawbox, but here, that's okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Like, when she's not holding, when she's not using the gun, she's holding on to this skull handle. Skull spine ribcage handle. With her right hand. So, yeah, she's like, so her hand is like here, right? And yeah, that's a feminine hand if I ever saw one. Right, chat? Anywho. And then her arm, I guess, goes like up to here, something like that. And then shoulder here. And then neck, head. I think it's something to that effect, like that. But yeah, and this handle goes away, or doesn't go away. I believe like it just folds. I'm not entirely sure which direction it folds, but I think that it folds. It makes much more sense that it folds this way. Not that it matters too much to. There's nothing on the underside. It kind of just merges straight into the yeah, because this is fairly straight, and I don't think that it would make sense for it to. You know, it does have this bump here, so it could. Yeah. So she kind of just like, when she's ready to shoot, she kind of just holding it like that, and she's been like just tosses it. Or actually, I suppose you can almost like drops it so that she can then grab it by the gun handle, and then swing it up, and then her left hand supports it underneath here, on a hair or something, and then just, you know, she starts blasting, which is, you know. I might want to have to do some. It's unfortunate, and like the game doesn't have a. The moment you start shooting, the camera locks behind you on a third person, right? So when you're rotating around, you can't pivot around your character. You can't pivot the camera around your character while in gun mode. You can do that while she's idle, or if you're just standing there looking handsome. But you can't really do it when you gotta be careful. Yeah, this is welcome to my awesome workflow. I mean, fine. It's not bad. It's just sort of possibly a little bit overly cautious and a little bit perfectionist thing, but you know, There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's just get rid of that, I think. Okay. Because I think it is. Better if we just do this. Alright. Yeah. Oh. Falling into my old habits, chat, chasing pixels, but you look at that, I'm like a 600% zoom. Nobody's gonna see this. But on the other hand, you go like, yeah, take, you know, pride in your craft, I guess? Question mark. Why not? There we go. A nice little shooty shoot. Right. Right. And it's yeah. 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 There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I can live with that, chat. Things are stable again with the broadcast, but holy crap, bro, like 27% frame growth. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I don't think that that's good. But then again, we're only an hour in, so. Right. Right. I kind of just want to get the outline done, and then I want to tackle this. Yeah, because this is a snake which coils around over the top here, which is pretty slick and cool and metal. And I noticed that this is just 10 spikes, but 7 of them are more or less identical. They have different, they might have like different lengths, but they're the same type. So you have this little thing here, you have this super spike edition here, and this it kind of reminds me of hard diamonds on a play set of playing cards. But anyway, or something very similar. But these spikes here are pretty much, I think, are they seriously the same in length? Oh, would you look at that, chat? That looks Ooh. You know what that means, chat? That means that I can essentially more or less just make one of these, and then we can copy paste Bazunza. More or less. More or less the same size. I'm wondering if I can make those with the outline layer mode. Probably. That might actually just make it a heck of a lot easier. Yeah. I think we covered that. Have we covered this before in general? I don't remember. I don't really remember what we done with on stream or not. But basically, you can set that. There's a layer. What is it called? Layer style, which allows you to add a stroke and a stroke on the outside of a any given shape, which is very great with the speech bubbles, because those are vector shapes, and you just plop those in, and then you drop then you take the vector layer and you take oh yeah, everything on this vector layer should have a 2 pixel outline or whatever. Then you go and Creator's I got you, fam. And boom, you get an instant outline. And the beautiful thing is, when you then start to add multiple shapes, and you can then seamlessly merge word balloons together. Just pretty slick, chat. That is pretty slick, not gonna lie. Okay, we're almost at the home stretch here. Okay, we're kind of missing some. Tiny little details here. There we go. Boom, beautiful. Not perfect, but gotta stop chasing them pixels. Because that is not what we're here for. And collapse that, and I suppose. Ooh. Cashing in on that muscle memory. Yeah. I think we need to just get rid of all of that. Yeah. And you guess it, another line. I am honestly addicted. It might take me a little while to get into the groove, but once I get into the groove of the whole 10th layer workflow, god dang. The more I use it, the more I like it, champ. And it's just great all around. Yeah, baby. You can work in non-destructive ways. Can I do that in one? Pretty darn close, actually. Not gonna lie. Ooh, that was pretty close, chat. I need to stretch it out a little bit. And I need to pivot it a little bit so that yeah, it's a little bit chunkier than the original, but who knows? How does it look on the back side here? Yeah, that's what I thought. There is a small angle to it. You just don't see it because of the is it perfect? Yeah, the bottom angle. Yeah, the bottom angle is for all intents and purposes. So we're just gonna put this line here and radically overshoot Gonna hit another chump layer, and we're just gonna eyeball it and go like, that fire's right there, right there. I don't think that it matters in the grand scheme of things because I suspect that that is just gonna disappear when we put the when we put in the details. But yeah. I know we just clean up our lines and look at that. It's so clean and beautiful. It's criminal, chat. Like, god dang it. My yapping skills have upgraded. Your yapping skills have upgraded. You are now a level 5 yapper. Cool. Okay, now we're gonna have to deal with this absolute nightmare of internal decorations. And this is another thing, like these barbed wire, silver barbed wire things, which are metal and cool as hell heck. For some reason they don't go over the top, but they do go over to, because essentially this is the same, it's the same texture, just mirrored. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah. It's the same texture, just mirrored. But I would like to, in my version, that because the barbed wire goes completely around the magazine clip, which, in case you don't know, can totally hold 80 bullets. I think like this is like a modified version of like an M60 or something like that, not or something in that weapon family. So yeah, cool though. I like the design, but it's like, oh my gosh, like yeah, she's gonna do all the anime cool poses and JoJo references and whatnot with this grotesquely detailed thing. But yeah, chances are I'm gonna do the same thing that I'm doing here. I'm just gonna like, I'm not entirely sure how that will work on stream, or if maybe my computer will just freak out because we got the OBS and the whole 9 yards of music playing in the background. But I have mentioned it before, like somebody, I think I mentioned it before, but at least somebody in the Krita community cooked up some Python magic and managed to bridge the gap between Krita and Blender, so you can import 3D models directly into the Krita drawing thing, and it's like you can just draw it, and then you can trace over it. And you can even like automatically generate perspective rulers based on the 3D object, which is sick. So I'm probably not going to do it for Alicia, but I am definitely going to do it on this sucker right here. And because foreshortening this and overlapping it, and oh my god, my goodness. But anyway, let's get a little bit less yapping and more drawing, I guess. And I mean, they're not difficult to draw, really. It's kind of like, I don't know. You just I suppose technically speaking, this one would go over that one as well, and this one would chew ? Yeah. And we have this one, and then we have this one. And we have this one. Where did it? And we have this one. We have one. Like, I'm not gonna collapse those because then we really mess up. We need to clean this. We need to clean these lines up. Yeah, we're just gonna keep those over there. You're not gonna go into that. We need to clean up here. We need to clean it up. Actually, no. I don't think that it's gonna, because like they don't go over it, but like they do merge. Like it's almost like the barbed wire goes underneath whatever the heck that thing is called. I don't know my guns. I'm not an American. Didn't even do military service. Alright. So. This is not a stable stream, chat. The Ian Scruff. Like, it's probably. I really didn't mind when in the early years of Hololive EN, the Scruff was the unofficial fifth member of Hololive. Okay, like it's. I know that the snake decor thing is a separate object, so you can sort of remove it if you really hide it. If you really want to. You know, get the lore accurate with the barbed wires, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that it really matters. Oh my goodness, now it's down to like so weird. It's like one of those. It's one of those times where like I'm curious, but I'm also terrified of watching the VOD. I haven't watched any of my VODs. Probably because I don't like the sound of my own voice. I'm not used to listening to recordings of myself. Alright. We're just gonna erase this dude right here. And then we can go and erase this dude right here, like that. Oh, look at that, chat. Look at that. That is sexy. If you could see it at like 2 frames an hour. I have no idea what. Like it's fine one day and then I have no idea. But yeah. Because I have no idea what else. Like it's the only thing that I'm. It's not Steam that is doing anything funky, is it? No, it's not. Alright, anyway. Be stable, like what the heck? It is bugging me. Like the occasional dip, yes, but like 26 of dropped frames in an hour and a half long stream. Like, god dang. That ain't good. Stay stable. I mean, it could be that I'm sending out to 3 YouTube, Twitch, and Kick at the same time, but I don't think that it should? Question mark? Anywho. Yeah, that's looking pretty sick. Not gonna lie. Okay. Let's not worry too much about statistics and just focus on drawing. But I do want to have my streams to be enjoyable, and they're not very enjoyable if they can't meet the bare minimum of technical efficiencies. It does bother me a bit, not gonna lie. And the IT support engineer, on-site support engineer in me is going like, you gotta fix that. Find out, start on troubleshooting, but then you can't do the troubleshooting while you're live. That's not very entertaining at all. Right. So, yeah. Spiky stuff sticking out. All right. Even with tracing an hour and a half, and I'm not even, well, we're kind of getting there. But then, of course, we have to do it all over again. Well, not all over again. I suppose we could just copy a lot of it. You can copy paste and just mirror it. Because yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do. It will be cheesing it, but what is it? Oh, this is machine gun. Let's label this properly. Properly. Cook woman properly. Right. Sign. There we go. And yeah. I don't think that this gun. This gun isn't to scale to this. No, I don't think it is. Because like her head should be with where the mag is, if I remember correctly. Anywho. How are we gonna have? Let's. Oh my goodness! Look at this chat. It's gonna be. Oh, hang on. This kind of stuff is ideal for outline. Like, it seriously is. Let's see. What do we have here? We got 5. Okay. So but hang on, I'm also trying to think how would it no. Never mind. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right. You see this? Now, we just... See this, chat? This is witchcraft. But I don't think... maybe... Maybe it's actually better if we use the hard round brush for this. This is so stupid. But it's also an experiment. And you're like, yeah, really doesn't necessarily look. Oh my god, it's pretty bad when you're in like 3,000% zoom and you're chasing pixels. That is like, if that's not a cry for help, chat, I don't know what is. And we're just gonna. Oh my goodness, you seriously need to. There we go. Okay. I don't think that if you. Right, and I draw this and I collapse and then I draw. No, you. God dang it. Oh, you lose the FX thing, but I suppose you could just. Put this one under. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Like, this is the sort of stuff that Outline excels at. Right. Right. There we go. I think, yeah, because like you it's part figuring out studying the gun, but also part figuring out how to draw the gun. Like, what techniques, tools can we use? Because you don't I don't want to sit there in a panel and go like, oh, how do I do that? I would like to have as many many of these problems as possible already solved. Is what I'm saying. And I think this method, chat, I might be cooking something here. Like, low key. I might be onto cooking something. Yeah? It's not as pointed, but again, who cares? Like, holy crap, this is that is looking pretty freaking sick and fly, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, chat. That looks pretty sick. Metal as all heck. Okay, and then it does become manageable. Wait, what? Alright, well, here we are. Yeah. The only problem is I get so many of these FX Slayers. Obviously, I intend to collapse them after the fact, but right now, oh, bastard. Yeah, you can tweak these forms until the heat death of the universe, really. Ooh. And alternatively, you can just become like a real artist and just go like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna draw this manually, like a Giga Chat, like the Giga Chat that I'm not, but you know, I'm not a Giga Chat, so there we go. This is what I got. Just show me what you got and go like, all right, this is it. Ah man, this sucker is massive. That's what she said. Insert that's what she said joke. I think I just did. Alright. Become more pointy. There we go. Something like that. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think we're just gonna collapse all but the first one, and then copy and paste and delete the content. Just clean up our layers. All right. Yeah, so this one goes over that one. Okay, cool. Where the heck do you come from? You probably come from... Yeah. Right, I think it might be better if I just start big and then continue small. Maybe. And then we just get rid of all of this excess. And then, nope, we're trying to do the whole... Get that curvature, get that curve in, get the curve with the fur. I can't listen to that song anymore without picturing Big Small, Bay, and Mume doing the low from Flow Rider. They're both a little tipsy. So I don't know. I didn't. Obviously, it was an unarchived karaoke. I think I mentioned it before. An unarchived karaoke stream of those two. I don't think they were drunk. They were just, you know, tipsy. You know, they got a good buzz. They had a bit of a buzz going, but you know, nothing serious. Yeah, that doesn't look good, but it's gonna be covered up by that one, so I don't really care. Okay. Right. But that's not... Like, that's pretty sick. Like, it looks a little bit wobbly and sloppy, and, you know, but... And obviously, like, you can go in there with, like, a super fine G pen and do all the... fine stuff. I am running out of water. I need to get myself a bottle of water. One moment, chat. Be right back. in business. I know. Clattering of the ice cubes in my cup, but that's okay. Alright, where were we? We're marveling at my genius. That's where we were. I don't know. The call. Let's just call it the call. Oh, 100% increase in our Twitch audience. Very nice. Welcome, welcome. We are trying to figure out how to prep up for a manga. We have our main character here, and we have her weapon of choice. What's the name? Is it a gun rod? Is that what she's... I think that's... Might sound a bit cringe, but you know, hey, it was 2007. Everything... in hindsight, a lot of stuff from 2000, the early 2000s. The PS3, PS360 era video games go like, yeah, might not necessarily have aged super well, but yeah. Okay. Let's do these other, but since they are more three-dimensional, I'm gonna try and probably fail horribly to draw them. Excuse me, manually. See how that goes. And snake. Can we? Get you to fit. Can I get the... That was very low, or is it just my end? Maybe it was just the volume on that one song. Yeah, sounds more normal. Oh, we had a... Never mind. I shouldn't be looking, obsessing. We might have some scruff, because the... for whatever reason, the Wi-Fi or the internet today is deciding to go like, I'm gonna be firmly in the not cooperating camp today. Oh. We might run into some technical difficulties, but that's just, you know, name of the game. I'm not gonna stop the stream to troubleshoot. Maybe I can... this is against my better judgment, but I could try, since I had such a success with the templates, but maybe I should. Against my better judgment, do something like... I mean, that line also disappears on behind there. Okay. That's a snake. And at least we can then do a little bit of a comparison, because we go like, oh, what it looks like manually versus this outline trick. But it worked. It's just... And I mean, we could do that too, chat, because like they are parallel. Ooh. I believe that works almost perfectly. We need to, the call. We need to turn you off because it's distracting the crap out of me. Let's see. That is that line. We're gonna erase you down to there, and we are going to erase you down to there. And then we're gonna go down one layer, and we're gonna erase you down to here, and we're gonna erase you down to here, and we're gonna make you around to there, and erase you down to there. Yeah, again, line weight and all of that jazz, but you know. Oh. Go down to layers and clear up some lines. Yeah, this line also needs to go away because it's underneath. Yeah. All right. And holy smokes, pants, this swirly thing here. What is it? It goes up. I mean, it's not terrible for. Well, it's not terrible. We could probably salvage it by just ditching this. And okay, I can work with that. Yeah, look at that. Collapse that down. And then we make a new layer and try to repeat. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine trying to do this? I think like even Drawbox can like, oh dude, just do one. What is it? Oh, overlapping lines. Overlapping lines. That's what they're preaching there. Right. So instead of starting here, you wait for the autosave to complete. You start inside of it, and then try to sort of yeah. And then we can just go in with a new eraser and like, yeah, we can trim that line, and we can trim that line, and it's a bit of a joint there, but you know, make something like that. Who cares, right? And or maybe it's easier for me to do this. Ah, that's easier. And squish this down a bit. Yeah. Again, it's not the greatest, but it will work. It will be a little bit scruffed, a little bit rough around the edges, but it is what it is. All right. Okay. Gosh darn it. I do know, like, hang on. That might be a bit. Oh, that's angles. Not vanishing points, but spline, isn't that it? I don't know how this. Works. Oh. We could arguably make cook with this and see what we get, chat. No, that's not what we wanted. This is what we wanted. And get something like that, but then like it's just one tiny bits of the curve. Snap to assistance. I mean, an A for assistance then, and then I'm gonna move this one up. Move that one to there, that one to there, and then kind of go like, all right, what do we go? Oh, no. What are we going for? We're going for something like that. I thought that I was pretty sure we could. Ooh, look at that. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas, chat. I mean, it. Like, it does low-key work, not gonna lie. It's just a bit... It's a bit of a pain in the butt to, like, get it to where you want it, but, you know. So what else is new? Everything's a pain in the butt in this day and age. And then we just trash it. Not a super fan, to be perfectly honest. But, you know, it is what it is. So, oop. We'll just tidy up some lines here, and we will tidy up some more lines in here. Yeah. As I suspected, this is, you know, it's just busy work, and yeah. Today's really not a. Today's not a. I don't know. Hopefully that's not a Sunday thing, because like, god dang, that's annoying. I want to stream on Sundays. I go like, no, you can't stream on Sundays because your internet turns to goes down to drain the moment you're trying to stream on Sundays. You can't do that, son. You don't have the permit. But Sheriff, I have no idea why this stream turned into a Western, but here we are. My word, Sheriff. Now them folks over at DC said you can't do it. That's just how the law is. You gotta comply. Now, get on now. Cause I know you don't want no trouble. You don't want no streaming to be stuttering. It could also be that it shouldn't be, but I don't know. I left my computer on. That shouldn't be. Again, it feels like such a non-issue. I think I was just gonna clean that up. the Wi-Fi gets on my computer gets sizzling hot, and then you're gonna go like, ah, yeah, you know. Oh well. It gives me something to yap about, if nothing else. So hey, that's something. Free subject matter to yap about, but it might not necessarily be the most entertaining stuff that I've ever seen. So. Can you imagine drawing this at the top of your head freehand? Oh my lord. There's no doubt in my mind that there are artists that can do that. Not necessarily just after a quick glance at this darn thing, but... still. Alright. Home stretch now, chat. Home stretch. Thankfully, I've done my fair share of S-curves, but I haven't really done a lot of those swirly things, so... no. Which is why they turn out to be a bit lackluster. Can I, Sheriff, can I be so bold as to just... I think I will. You know what, Sheriff? I'm gonna do it anyway. I know it's against the law, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What are you gonna do? Arrest me? Look at that, chat. That was some galaxy brain moves right there. If I ever saw one. And now all of a sudden I sound like President Clinton. This is a wild stream, chat. Wild stream indeed. Alright, time to join your friends. Alright, and we have the snake head that's just peeking over here, which is, yeah, peekaboo. There you go, snake head, done. Right, and I suppose we could... You're so tiny and simple, and I'm just gonna do you in one go. You as well. And I might be screwing myself over because I'm just using one brush size, but you know. I can imagine it go like, you can really make these things pop with like line weight and whatnot, but to be honest, I'm a little bit sick and tired of the whole line weight debacle. Look like, ah man, I just wanna leave me alone. I think it's cool and all, but it look like it raises the bar quite a lot, and I'm like, I don't know. You can get some line variety with just the basic opacity brush, because it goes from light to dark, and it's kind of like, yeah, like you can go very low, very subtle, and then dark and subtle. So you can get variety in your lines that way, rather than from thick to thin. And there's this other brush that does very much similar, but does basic flow, which might be a little bit better at building up the value. Because this one only has opacity, doesn't have the flow thing. If we go to all brushes, basic, Yeah, basic flow opacity. Yeah, that one, like, yeah, that one might be a bit better because you can really build up your lines that way. I'm having flashbacks from, as opposed to basic opacity, which you, I mean, you can, but we'll see. We'll see. Where were we? Yeah, well, we can remove the reference. And I mean, it's very busy and oh. Clustery, but you know, it is a messy detail there. And yeah. My brain's starting to leak out of my ears, chat. That's not good. Oh yeah, we gotta put on the call as well. Oh. You know, it's kind of popping, not gonna lie. All right, yeah. Like, we gotta... How will that work? Up with the opacity, that one needs to be a 5. How will that work? Oh, that's how that works. Interesting. Well, haven't really done much of that before, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, like, I mean, it works. It really does. Yeah. From a distance, it doesn't look that bad, but like once you kind of go into it, you're like, holy crap, that is some that is some ugly line work. We'll just have to wait and see what comes up. But like the spline ruler wasn't that bad, chat. It wasn't that bad, if I may say so myself. Hey. Ah, okay. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? We are here, chat. Do I want to keep that on a separate layer? Yeah. We will keep that on a separate layer. And we will just... I just noticed that there's a little detail that we forgot here. A little gentleman down here. And I kind of just need you to fit in like that, and then we can just collapse all you three, and we can erase away the excess, and we can bring you to a point. Nice. And we can probably remove all of that stuff when I think about it. Yeah, there we go. Looking good. Shaping up, chat. It is shaping up. 3 brushes and a dream. Oh, right. Also need to get rid of these lines right here, because they stop at that sucker. Yeah. We can get rid of all I mean, technically speaking, that we are here now. That's part of the main body. Boom. Gotta get it. That pop up into my workflow. Best way to do that is to keep reminding myself to use the darn thing. I did go through all the trouble of mapping the button on my stylus for it. Move that right there, and there we go. Swap it. There we go. Yeah, because I wanted one to be the eraser and the other one to toggle between brushes, but granted I only use 3 brushes, or I try to limit myself to 3 brushes, but you know. It's still a hassle because you go like, yeah, you have two keys, you can sort of like toggle up or down. I only have 2 buttons on my stylus, and I won't want to be the hotkey for the eraser, so. What's a poor artist to do? Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with the details there because they're gonna disappear behind. Nope. Let's get some barbed wire action going on here. Look at them barbed wires. Yeah, lots of cute, adorable, spiky little triangles. Well, not a whole bunch of them, but we have some. We have a spiky little triangle there, a little here, a little one there, there. That wasn't very triangular of me. Something like that, chat. Something like that. Oh my goodness gracious Lord. Alright. Gonna lock the snake layer, and we're gonna make a new layer on top. And now we're gonna have to deal with all of these spikes. And I know there are more decals behind that, and I'm like, because like, I mean, it's not that bad on this side, but of course that is also the inside, right? Because her torso will cover all of that. Which means, again, it kind of just gets me to think that I mean, that snake's gotta be very uncomfortable. Yeah, because like she's holding it like she's under her arm. Right? I'm on a separate layer now, right? Yeah, because like her hand is like here, right? I'm trying to figure out how this fictional gun works, and so her arm kind of, and then you have like the elbow sticking out here, and then I don't know, shoulder here, and then you know, torso, pelvis, and then you know, connection. Whee! It's a bit hard to see, but like it's obviously you know, her elbow is like bent over, and then you have the gun in between here, and then you have the handle, and then you have the hand, and then lots of bullets. Pew pew pew. It doesn't make that sound. It sounds a bit more impressive than pew pew. Or maybe all guns just go pew pew by default. I don't know. I'm yapping out of my butt. Oh, that was a pretty good arch, not gonna lie. I mean, low-key chat, this has gone better than I expected. This whole ordeal. Granted, like, I'm just sitting here tracing, but like, it wasn't as... But I know that even tracing can be soul draining. Because like, oh, there's so much. But this one wasn't so bad. I mean, I could have just used the standard shape now that I think about it. Oh, it would have been better than the whole freehand. But, you know, I've done draw a box. I trained my muscle memory to draw from the shoulder. So, might as well cash in on that. Oh man, this stream is not stable at all. That's on the ink layer. Right, I need to clean up I need to clean up some of my lines. And that one. Right, that one. There you go. Oh, and we need to hide that one. Right. Okay, okay. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there. Humble beginnings and all of that. Yeah, well, speaking of the devil, let's just experiment a bit here. Like I'm guessing a circle. We could squash it a little bit, just to get it to conform. It's not a perfect circle. It's a... What is it like? Oh, something like that. Oh yeah, look at that. And if I then copy paste that circle and then just scale it out, that works. You know, good enough for me. You know, I'll take it. And we're just gonna... Life gets a little bit better if you add sound effects to it, chat. Not too much, because people will look weird at you, look at you in weird ways, but every once in a while, yeah. Make some sound effect, make some noise. Yeah. It's not that bad. Not that bad at all, chat. I just need to clean up some lines here. And oh, that's not those, but I will get to those. All right. Oh my goodness, there's so much. Like, there's this metal thing here, and then there's this boxy thing here. I want to go home, chat. But wait, I am home. How the heck is that supposed to work? I mean, it's coming along. But yeah. And this is like, when you're sort of watching it head on, it's going to be a real pain in the butt if you want to do like dynamic foreshortenings for the manga. Oh my goodness. So here I am, wrestling with some frickin' white sharks. This is this is definitely a great white shark for me. Like, holy crap-a-roo. I mean, we had some success with the outline trick with these decals, chat. Maybe... Can I get a... I think I did it wrong. Oh yeah, this should be reversed. That annoys me, but whatever. It's always fun to like notice such mistakes when it's too late. Yeah. Let's just do the. Okay, I don't want to collapse that. Accidentally collapse down to that layer. Because that would be a pain in the ass. So we're just gonna save properly. We're not gonna blindly trust the autosave. That's bad. Bad chat. Alright. And this is that layer. Okay, cool. I'm gonna copy paste. So we're just gonna move you down here. Paste. Move you. Down here. Paste. Move you down here. Copy paste. It's not exactly the most exciting high octane stream, but you know. Hey, guess what? Works. Gets the job done, so I ain't complaining. I'll need to. Yeah. I'm not sure if I can stretch you out without this. No, I can't stretch you out without distorting you. Okay. That is about as far as I can take you. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, you could probably just, yeah. It's probably just as fast to just, now that I think about it. So you're just using the straight rule tool. I'm just being silly. I'm a little bit too tunnel vision fixed on the trick that I learned from Inanis from Hololive English. She did a whole bunch of that copy pasting thing. It's not a bad trick, but it just, there's a time and place for every trick, and the different tricks in the book, shall say. So yeah. And we will. Oh, I completely forgot about you because you're so tiny. And I mean, yeah, that does a lot to alleviate it, but god dang it, I keep going back to it. But we also need to sort of show that these suckers are behind. What is in front and what isn't behind? I guess that on this side they are. Oh no, that's right, because these curved ones, they are a bit thick and juicy, so you just don't see it from this angle. Right, I remember now. I remember, chat. Remember who you are. Oh, we're doing all sorts of stuff now. We're doing Lion King. Yeah, why not? Approximately. My brain is starting to melt out of my ears, chat. Not gonna lie. All of this busy detail work. But, you know. Yeah, what can a poor man do? When you have all you have is 3 brushes and a dream. That's what you get. Yeah, there we are. okay. I mean, it's shaping along rather nicely, if I may say so myself. Yeah. Curve these. Curve that. Steady. Curve, 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 curve. And we're gonna clean up some lines. Gotta make it look smooth, and that's three-dimensionality. Here we go. I think that's about right. And yeah, so I need to clean this sucker up like that. Yeah. Oh. Here we are. Here we are. And I mean, we don't. Is that? Oh, god dang it! I forgot to clean up this line. That happens, chat. That happens. Ooh. All right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh. That's the spikes. Well, we're just gonna call that spikes. And that is just like when I got spikes. Okay. Name your layers, chat. That is oh no, we're gonna want opacity, and we want some pointy stuff there, like that. All right, cool. Yeah. I mean, okay, from a distance, chat, it looks pretty fire. Not gonna lie. Trace be damned, I'm still pretty happy with the result. But holy moly, yeah, there's a lot of work, and I haven't like truly like there's like details on the gun itself that you can kind of arguably like. Yeah, we have a super tiny, lots of little details that we need. Bolts and nuts and yeah, I suppose really want to keep it interesting. I'm gonna like keep all of these. Just speed run these, I guess. Wow, look at me go. All right. Yeah, it does something to add a little, some detail to it. this is the one that I want. Something like that. Yeah. All right, we have gotten Mr. Skeleton handle, which is a bit embarrassing, to be honest. Yeah, I'll just do. That will do. That will do, pig. That will do. Oh my. What? Seriously? That's 0? And then it shoots back up again. Oh man. That is a... I have no idea why it fluctuates so much. No idea. But yeah. Well, we're coming up on a tail end anyway, chat, so. Terribly sorry for the scruffed entertainment. That's... Oh. Ink. And... spikes? No, it's snake. Yeah. Actually not a snake layer. And here we have ink. And more ink. Yeah. Yeah. I underestimated how much. I knew it would be finicky, but like, holy crap, I didn't expect it to be a freaking 3-hour job. But then again, it's the first time I'm drawing this gun, and yeah, it has a very high level of detail for my skill level. High level of detail, and you're not familiar with it on top of everything else. Go like, yeah, that is like setting yourself up for a long haul. But nah, baby steps, baby steps. Okay. But yeah, I'm kind of curious of what the YouTube bot would look like on this stream. Yeah. Yeah. 2.5 hours. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it quits here, chat. But I am low-key curious of what this would look like. Yeah. There's halftone. We could do what? probably do a 25. The darkest one, just to see it. Yeah, that's pretty dark. But kind of curious just to see. Oh, it's probably because if we just slap this on. Oh. Or maybe we can be a little bit crazy right here on the tail end, chat. And just start here. I mean, it is pretty straightforward, at least the barrel of it. Yeah, why not? It's my stream and I can do pretty much whatever the heck I want. Almost. But yeah. It is fun. Tedious, but still fun. Like those 2 hours just flew by. So I'll take that. Why can't you like undo big previous? I think you can if you, is it right click? Oh. Yeah, this is a scruffed stream. If the numbers, if the OBS numbers are anything to go by, then yeah, they are pretty scruffed. Yeah, cabled connection is probably the way to go. I mean, I could change that one later on. Let's just do the whole darn thing in that one value. Oh, I forgot to properly tidy up my lines. It doesn't matter. Well, I smoked it down. This is tedious stuff. Oh well. The more you do something, the better, the faster and more efficient you get at it, I suppose. There's a lot of busy work at the end here, but once you kind of like get over this hurdle, it's relatively smooth sailing. We look at him go. Yeah, there we go. Bum, bum, bum. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot to clean up my lines again. Oh well. I forgive myself. That's just always nice. Be kind to yourself. Ooh, the song is bopping. Yeah, well, it's understandable. I picked it after all. Don't screw me up now, autosave. I think we're just gonna do this. Right. Right. There we go. I like if that is going to be. I don't know if that's going to be the darkest that it is, but like it's a good weapon color. Good weapon color. But yeah, to make the snakes and stuff like that pick stand out. Can we do 75? Oh yeah. Let's see if we can turn off that filter. And I think we're just gonna turn off that one as well. It's easier to work with, easier on the eyes. No, we're just painting in. No. Not there. it's gonna go a little bit over, but that's okay. Actually, I suppose we could just use this as a mask to just and then just connect the swirly swirl with that swirly swirl and connect that swirly swirl. Like, there's a lot of swirly swirls in this one. But yeah, and then this one connects. If we just hastily, quickly I mean, yeah, now it reads, all of a sudden it reads a heck of a lot better. And there you go. Oh, yeah. Oh. And right. Oh. Oh my goodness. It's not super clean, but oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. And if we now turn on values, it looks something like that. I mean, that could work. That could work. I actually kind of like the pure white on the metal decal things. That could work, chat. That could work. Oh my goodness gracious. Three-hour stream and almost 30% frame drop. drop frames. Not happy. But yeah, that's 3 hours to 3 hours to draw the gun. Holy smoke, that does not promising for my for my manga. But you know, the more you do it, the more efficient you get at it. And I need to draw the other side as well. Holy smokes, man. Well, the other side, a lot of it is... You can flip the others. You can just take this, all of this machine gun, right? And you can flip it, mirror it, and then... For the most part, it's just a swirly thing here, and the snake that sort of coils over and picks over by the other side, and basically all of these spears and all of this white or this brighter junky spikes, they kind of get caught off by this shoulder support pad thing. Yeah, and we have a little skull at the end. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna call it quits there, chat. 3 hours. Next stream will be on Tuesday, 6 p.m. And we'll continue and hopefully finish the cloud tutorial. It is more or less finished. It's just I would like to take another stab at the cloud. It's just not that solid. Yeah. And then we will continue on Friday, right? That's not it? Yeah. And we will continue on Friday with this Bullet Witch manga project of mine. And yeah. Then, I'd like to finish the gun, the other side of the gun, just I have tried it, and if we still have some time to spare, we could do some facial expressions for Alicia. Yeah. Well, let's see what it would turn out. But scruff aside, I hope. Thank you very much for stopping by, Struck notwithstanding. And I guess we'll just see you soon. Something like that. I think that's it, right? Covered everything. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry about the scruff. Guess I'll just have to troubleshoot that a bit closer to see if we could find out exactly what can be done, because that's not good. Even if to my limited audience, it should still be treated with... should be provided sufficient experience. But anyway, keep drawing, keep having fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.